A fault is a weakness, a defect, a fracture. Faults divide, tear, and consume. Here in the city of Chester's Chasm, we struggle to maintain that precarious balance over the precipice in the earth, in our lives, and in our hearts. This story is about 4 teenagers with faults of their own.
The fault between my faith and freedom.
The fault between my family and identity.
The fault between my life and death.
The fault between my guilt and revenge.
As these fractures grow, we stand at the edge and ask, what must we sacrifice to sate the void's endless hunger? Is it possible that the answer lies within all our faults? Greetings, and welcome to All Our Faults, a Monster Hearts 2 actual play podcast by the Tabletop Talespinners network. I am your hostess and producer, Mistress Winter. Happy New Year, everyone! I am so glad to be back and excited that you have chosen to join us for our first episode of the year. Whether you enjoyed big parties with friends and family or just chilled at home, I hope that the holidays were good to you. I had a good couple of weeks with family that had flown in from the States. We went on some day trips, went to see a version of the Nutcracker that I never expected, and just recuperated before heading back to work next week. I can say, though, that I miss this show and this cast. We're jumping back into recording right after I'm done here, and I'm so stoked to see them all again. I really think you'll be thrilled with the story to come. Speaking of the story, here's what happened in our last chapter before the break. Solomon tracked down Barbara and convinced her to break ties with Crispin. All the while, our new horseman hunted down Deanna, only to have his righteousness curbed by the revelations she dropped on him. Finally, William confronted Michael about their relationship status. Shoutouts and thank yous after the show. Chapter 23, Invitational Insecurities. The bell rings for the lunch period. Where does everybody go for their lunch?
Michael, with William in tow, I think we'll try to look around and see if Saline is at a table.
Saline comes in to get lunch and then leaves again because she is still fully eating her lunches by herself in one of the art rooms. So every now and then she'll say hi to Solomon, but she's not sitting with him. She's more like acknowledging his presence. And she's still fully eating lunch by herself in one of the art rooms.
Solomon will always say hi back and will never push you any further than that.
Crispin, on the other hand, will sneak behind the line in the kitchen and he doesn't get a regular plate of food. He just kind of grabs a handful of tater tots or whatever and kind of is eating them sitting next to the dishwashing sink. And he spends this time not trying to talk to Juanita, but just kind of being in her presence and doing dishes and taking out trash and just generally being useful in ways that make him less available to talk so that he doesn't have to have a conversation where she tells him to stop being a little bitch.
Juanita will acknowledge your standoffishness by giving you tasks very simply and leaving you to them. But you do catch her glancing your way every now and again, thoughtfully, before returning to her own work.
Other than Dr. Miller, Juanita is one of the few people that Crispin feels has ever fully perceived him. So it doesn't surprise him that she keeps kind of throwing glances his way. He feels different and he knows that she picks up on it. But he's grateful for the fact that she's not pushing him on it because he doesn't quite know how to acknowledge or explain it himself.
Michael, did you want to have a conversation with Saline, or?
Yes, I think that I can envision him in the lunchroom sort of scanning everything. He sees Saline come in and like rush out, sees her make eye contact with Solomon, and like walks past, acknowledges Solomon with a nod and a smirk, and then just sort of goes to follow, like William sort of chasing behind. And at some point, William will just sort of glide into the art room. Hello.
Celine will look up from where she is already settled and is like sketching in her sketchbook. She's not trying to hide what she's sketching. And if you come close enough to see it, she is sketching horrible nightmare fuel of the thing that's hunting her and just various depictions of it. Because it kind of haunts her every waking moment and her dreams. So this is her way of getting it out. So if you step close enough, you will see that, as she is making no indication to hide it from you. But she will look up at you. Hi. I don't think Michael and Saline would have really talked much since they're like making up conversation. So things are still awkward.
Yeah, it's definitely been distant, I think. And he'll lean over looking at your notebook and just go, "Oh, is that still following?"
Yeah, it has not gone away. At this point, I don't know that it ever will.
Huh. You know, funny weather we're having. I hear chairs are just flying all over the place, hitting people left and right.
Yeah, that was crazy.
What do you think that was about?
I don't know. I don't know what's going on with either of them.
Yes, they both have their pissing contest, don't they?
Celine will look up at you, Michael, and there's clearly some conflict in her gaze as she thinks about whether she should tell you or not. And finally, she takes a breath and goes, I spoke with Crispin. I'm going to tell him everything. Well, not everything. I'll tell him everything in regards to me. Your condition is not my secret to share, but I'm going to tell him about Bert and everything going on with me and that you know. And I thought you had a right to know that I'm going to do that.
Thanks. I'm surprised. Neither of you has been particularly good at communicating with the other.
No, we haven't. And I think that's part of the problem. And there's just already so much going on that I just want him to know. And maybe he'll hate me for it. I don't know.
I doubt it.
He deserves to make the choice, though.
He's not always bright, but he cares.
He does, though I'm a little nervous about the change in him. More than a little nervous, I'm really concerned about him.
Yeah, it's strange.
It's bad.
I don't like it either. The confidence, sure, he needs that, but the vibe, it's off.
Something is wrong.
What the hell happened to Barbara?
We don't know, but something is wrong with her.
And are they, like, together? What was that?
I have no idea. I spoke to Crispin for the first time in 2 weeks today.
Yeah, how did that go?
Went about as well as any of our conversations ever do.
It ended in screaming and you were crying?
Okay, so I guess it went better.
Oh, that's good.
We agreed to talk. I told him I would tell him everything. And he asked if Bert was coming back.
He's not. I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I miss him, strangely.
Me too. Clearly. And she'll kind of show off her hand with the ring.
Yeah, he'll reach out and almost touch it. He was good. There aren't many who are good.
Maybe that's why what happened. He was too good.
You know, I've missed you, too.
I guess I haven't been a great friend lately to you, have I?
I mean, same.
We're both dealing with a shit show.
And he'll look back. I at least have some help. And he'll indicate to William.
I'll just kind of like lean over and just look at William and just give a nod.
Right?
He awkwardly puts his hand up. Hi. I don't mean to offend, but, are you a vampire as well?
No. She's not. It's fine.
Oh,
So he knows then.
Oh, yes. He knows. And there's a pointed look. And there's a little bit of fang popping.
Saline will just raise her brows and then look at William and go, no, I'm not a vampire. I am something else.
A friend.
of course. Friends are most needed. It's nothing catching, is it? Virulent or a disease?
No.
Oh, good. Good.
I was born this way. You don't have to worry.
Yeah, she's a real bitch. It's part of the fun.
Careful, I still have the ring. I will sucker punch you again. Don't put it past me.
I don't need that. Nope.
But I do have it.
I know.
I would appreciate if you didn't threaten my boyfriend.
Boyfriend?
That's the first time he said that out loud. Yeah. And there's an unusually shy smile on Michael's face.
Saline is looking back and forth between the two like a tennis match. And just, well, Michael, I'm happy for you. You deserve something good. Someone good.
William blushes at that.
He'll let that sit for a moment and look at Saline and say, you know, you do too.
Sure. Whatever you say. It's very much so a self-deprecating laugh and statement. Saline carries a lot of guilt, and I think Michael knows it. If we haven't talked about it, he can definitely tell.
Oh, it reads, yeah. And I think that Michael will just linger quietly while you draw, just enjoying your company.
Saline will enjoy his company as well.
Solomon, what you have?
Solomon's in the cafeteria, eating alone, or he doesn't care if anyone sits at his table. He sits at a table that's empty, and if anyone comes and sit next to him, he won't talk to them, but he doesn't care if they sit there. The thing I think that has his attention the most is that wolf thing. He's thinking about that real hard. And, if possible, I'd like to gaze into the abyss.
Okay, what are you searching for?
I'm searching for... I saw it come out of the portal, and I'm around the woods a lot. So I think I'm looking for, in my mind, any clue that I might have overlooked at any point while I was in the forest after that time, or anything that I feel like I missed. Because while Solomon is very focused on helping Saline, I think at the same time he's also very wary about that thing. Because it's a danger in and of itself outside of everything else. And dangers are not good to have around, let alone roam free without anybody knowing where it is at all times.
So you're trying to locate it.
You know, I'm looking for clues that might help me, but yeah, essentially I'm trying to locate it.
Go ahead and give me dark.
I know I'm bad at this, but I still try. It's a great time. That is a total of 4.
You've been scouring the woods for days. You have been trying to sniff it out, trying to locate it, but you have yet to catch onto its scent. There have been no physical signs of its passing, but yet the feeling still lingers that a very powerful creature is circling, coming in closer. And as you sit and analyze these feelings, this thought, one of the other students plops down in front of you. Hi, Solomon, right?
Yeah.
From your recollection, this is Taylor Lineman from Yearbook Club. They dressed in a loose white button-up shirt, top buttons undone, of course. Jeans, Doc Martens, whole works. So, your book club was kind of crazy yesterday, right?
Yeah, it was. I don't get what you're getting at, though. Is it got anything to do with you?
I'm not trying to insert myself anywhere, but I think that gave your first impression of our school and the other students maybe a bad first impression. So, I'm here to invite you to a party. I think that you would absolutely love coming to one of my parties.
What kind of party is it?
Your typical kind of party, you know, we get together, we're gonna have non-alcoholic drinks, and he's winking very heavily.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine, dude. But we're gonna have drinks, music. I've got a pool if you like to go swimming. It's gonna be like Oktoberfest at my place.
At first, I think there's a very confused look on my face as I'm hearing this person talk to me. And the most vibe I'm having right now, mostly of it, is like, why is this person sitting here and talking to me right? But then a kind of small smile comes across my face and goes, "Can I bring some friends?"
They narrow their eyes. Who are you gonna bring?
There's a couple people. Saline and Michael.
Michael's cool. After stuff at the waterfall. Saline, I don't know, I feel like she's gonna bring the party down.
I think that won't happen. I want to be nice. I think they bring some sort of a mysteriousness to your party that people would like. And there's a very different Solomon that's happening right now. This Solomon is more flirty and more leaning in on his hotness as he talks to this person.
Yes.
And there's like a big old, there's always his canines aren't really sharp when he's in human form, but they still are kind of there. Not so much so that he's like, oh, this person just has really sharp canine teeth. but it's a big toothy smile that's all the ways very like inviting and very just like confident and cool.
All right. Give me turn someone on.
Oh, I missed one a lot today. All right, here we go. Ooh, that's a good one. Mine's a 12.
Nice. So you're going to gain a string on Taylor. How can I say no to that gorgeous grin? Sure, you can bring whoever you want, but you vouch for him, right?
Yeah, very much.
All right, cool. I'll text you the deets. I just need your phone number.
Phone number? OOC. Did we establish if Solomon had a phone or not? I forget.
I don't think he does.
I don't think he does, yeah.
Yeah, you know, your cell phone?
I don't have a phone.
You don't have a phone?
No. Just write it down on a piece of paper or something now.
Yeah, all right. I'll get you a Post-it or something.
Sounds good. All right. I guess I'll see you there then.
Yeah, that sounds great. And they get up and almost bounce off happily.
Smile immediately drops as soon as they're out of view. It's just gone. Yeah. I saw Michael go off after Saline, correct?
Yes.
I will go there to the art room and just open the door. I don't knock or anything. If it's closed or anything, I just come in and I'm like, hey, you want to go to a party?
What?
Party.
Where?
It's, I don't know, some kid named Taylor.
Oh, Taylor.
I don't think it's a very good idea for me to go to a party thrown by Taylor.
Oh, you know this person?
Oh, come. This might be fun.
Fun for you. And then under her breath, she'll go, you didn't get their best friend killed.
Sure I didn't. Arguable, yes. But I think it would be a swell time, and you could use some fun. We'd love to. Thanks for asking.
Wonderful. I'm sure it'll be some much needed letting loose.
And how are you doing today, by the way?
I feel pretty happy. I'm pretty sure I fucked over Crispin, and it's making me elated.
Yeah? Tell me. What about?
You know the certain vibe you get from people when you can tell they're kissing ass?
Yes.
Yeah, got that from Crispin to Barbara.
Oh, that's spicy. What did you do?
Oh, I told Barbara not to talk to him anymore.
And I think that Michael is just gonna turn and give some pointed eye contact to Saline. Fascinating. Wow.
And how did Barbara react to that?
Accommodating. Although, first time ever that I met somebody who wasn't intimidated by me.
Second,
Fair enough.
you know, Saline, I like this one. He's fun.
I appreciate his help. And Celine will kind of eye Solomon up and down. Because while we're like trusting, and I definitely say hello to you, it's a weird relationship right now. To say the least.
Oh, yeah, everyone's in a weird place.
Oh, yeah. We'll flash over to the lighthouse, which stands alone on the windy bluffs above Chester's Chasm. The fair that usually surrounds its base is tented up and quiet.
I think Crispin takes pains to get there first and sits on a large flat rock facing out towards, the abyss of water. And he just sort of waits and ruminates on his whole life and how different things have been the last few weeks. And the last change he can remember like that is when he met his friends, specifically Saline.
Celine gets there right at the agreed upon time. Not early, not late. Gets there right at the agreed upon time and is clearly uncomfortable. She cannot stop fidgeting with her sleeves, with her fingers. Just very, very nervous about this whole interaction as she walks up and approaches Crispin.
Crispin will look kind of over his shoulder and notice Saline. He'll do that kind of chin out thing by way of greeting, but won't go to hug her or say anything. Just sitting on the rock, waiting for her to sit next to him, stand before him. He's going to let her make her choices here.
If there's room on the rock to sit next to Crispin without being pressed up against him, there doesn't have to be a ton of space between them, just a little bit of space. Then Celine will sit on the rock next to him. If not, she'll just kind of stand awkwardly beside him.
When I see that you're coming over to kind of sit, I'll scoot over a little bit to make sure there's plenty of room for you. You came.
I said I would.
I appreciate it.
Of course.
An awkward silence will kind of hang for a few moments, and Crispin will look directly at her for the first time. So, I take it I've been a little out of the loop lately.
Yeah, to say the least. I'm sorry. I thought it was best for you not to know. I thought it would keep you safe.
Are you safe?
She'll kind of think about that question for a moment and just, no.
Crispin will straighten at that simple admission. Well, in that case, tell me everything.
She will be silent for a long moment as everything plays out in her mind. Her entire life, basically. All of the time she spent in the Fey realm. The last time she saw her father, the last few months. Meeting Michael, meeting Bert, now meeting Solomon. just all of the things. And she'll take another really deep breath and fix Crispin with a look. The world, as you think you know it, isn't accurate. You're probably gonna think I'm crazy for everything I'm about to tell you, but I swear on my life that it is true, and I'm telling you the truth. There are other beings in this world, non-humans, and I am not fully human. And she'll take her hair and tuck it behind her ear to show off the point of her ears. I'm half Fae, which I know sounds crazy, but I swear it's true.
I'm curious if Crispin knows what a Fae is.
I did do all that research on Fenrir when I heard the howling with Saline that one time. So I think I have just sort of a light general zeitgeist understanding of what the Fae are, but no deep encyclopedic.
Well, Fenrir isn't related to the Irish Fae mythology.
Oh, you're right. Maybe not then. Yeah, that might be a brand new word to me.
Are you gonna make me explain what Fae are? Damn you.
Use small words. Explain like I'm 5. But also, I haven't said anything yet. I'm just kind of staring at you, letting you talk. So, Saline admits that she is Fae, and I am still hung up on the not fully human bit, because that confirms my worst fears from the night of my vigil, watching Saline close this portal. My initial thought is, oh my god, the love of my life, this girl that I adore, has been possessed by a demon. And now I'm having to reframe that memory as this girl that I love is something I don't understand. She wasn't possessed by a demon, she's something else.
Saline won't say anything after she admits to being half Fae. She'll just watch Crispin's face and allow him time to process it and start asking whatever questions he feels he needs to ask.
After a long silence, I'm looking staunchly ahead, not meeting your eyes. So that night at the chasm, you did that. That was all you. You remember that.
Yeah, I do. I didn't do it on purpose. It's not even something I knew I could do.
And you can do other things?
Maybe. I'll be honest, I don't really know. That was the first time I'd done anything like that. And it was to try and stop. So that, she'll try and start the sentence several more times before sighing out in frustration, taking another steadying breath, and go. What I did where we were at the chasm that night is a portal to the Fae realm, which is where my father lives, and he's being attacked. He's in hiding, so I haven't seen him in a while. And something, when I left the Fae realm earlier this year, something followed me and has been hunting me as well.
You're being followed.
More like hunted, but yeah.
That howling you keep hearing, that's
what's hunting me.
And Michael? Is it hunting him too?
No, just me.
Is he what you are?
He is not Fae.
But he is something.
He is something. It's not my place to tell, but he is something. And he set off a lot of things that night. I sort of misplaced blame on him that I was feeling myself about what happened to Bert, which is why I punched him.
And Bert, was something too.
Yes. And he saved me from the thing that's hunting me, and now he's gone. And she'll kind of show Crispin the ring. This is all that's left.
Crispin just starts nodding to himself, almost hypnotically. Anyone observing him can almost see the processing that's happening, the thoughts tumbling over themselves in his mind. Everything he has grown up knowing is both true and untrue at the same time. There are things out there. We are not alone on this plane. The world is a wide and dangerous place. But the danger both comes from and for his friends. Finally, after way too long, I'll turn to you. Thank you for finally proving to me that my father was right all along. I'm a fool.
Crispin, no, your father
has been trying to tell me my entire life, and the minute I walk out of my house, out of my church, out of my community, I immediately befriend 3 monsters. You've lied to me. Crispin can't decide if he wants to cry or punch Saline or run away. And he stands up and just his fists clenching and unclenching. This entire time. The
rage that you're feeling, the anger that's roiling up, is amplified. It is injustice, indignation. It is almost overwhelming.
Finally, after some terrifying moments of indecision, Crispin turns, towering over Saline, and just goes, "You lied to me. You made me love you. And you couldn't even tell me what you were. I don't claim to understand what you've done, but you will never hurt me again." And for a minute, it looks like Crispin might haul off and hurt her.
Before you continue with that, I'm going to have you roll a keep your cool.
Yeah, you can have me roll a keep my cool. Because I'm so good at that.
Also, I'd like to note, Saline is just staring up at Crispin, taking all of this. She's obviously devastated, and it's clear on her face, but she is not making any move to stop him, to interrupt him. Nothing. She feels she deserves this, so she is taking all of it. And every word is like a dagger to the heart for her.
It's plus cold?
Yep.
What is a full success? All I need is a 10?
Yep.
I think I have a forward. I'm gonna make that a 10.
Okay. So you get to ask me a question about the situation and take one forward to act on said information.
Great. Fuck. Okay. Yeah. So me, the player, definitely does not want to punch Saline because that's bad news bears. Let's not do that. I'm trying to decide what would be the most important. Oh, okay. Oh, this is fun because the answer is up to interpretation. Can Crispin save his friends?
No, because it is not what they've done. It is who they are. Trying to save a demon, per se, is impossible because it is their nature. You can, however, either destroy them or find a way to leverage them and use them to save others.
Understood. With that knowledge in mind, Crispin's violent episode passes somewhat. He'll look down at Saline. I need some time. I'll see you around.
She will just nod.
And Crispin will walk home. Alone.
Our continued thanks and love for our home, the Tabletop Talespinners Network, and director Emma Kocar for her endless support. My love goes out to my cast, Abby Marie Carter as Saline, Extell as Solomon, Juicy Garland as Michael, and Kat Kelly as Crispin. I have been your MC and producer, Mistress Winter. Our socials are in the show notes if you would like to connect with us. Before you go, please stay for a quick promo for a friend of the show. Thank you for joining us, and we wish your hearts a hopeful and magnificent new year ahead.
Gonna scream into my mic. I'm not gonna scream into my mic. How much trauma can I fit into this character? Holy
All of it.
shit.
All of the trauma.
All of it.
You know, do y'all remember that used
Slaps the
used
top.
car salesman?
This can hold so
This
much
baby-
trauma inside it.
This baby can fit so much trauma.
That's why we play these games, right?
It's why I play them, that's certain.
Have you ever wanted to explore the skies in your TTRPG games? Does your favorite system not have the tools for you to do so? Well, now you do, with 2 fantastic supplements from Homie and the Dude. First, pilot your own custom airship with Sky Zephyrs. This 5e supplement lets you take your adventures to the skies in a whole new way with over 250 pages of player features, vehicle combat rules, and more. Speaking of adventure, there's no better aerial adventure for any TTRPG than the Studio Ghibli-inspired Wandering Tavern. Let it float into your latest campaign with plenty of plot hooks to either start or continue your party's adventure there. And, in true Ghibli fashion, it has real-world recipes for the fantastical foods your party could eat. So, want to take to the skies with your friends and support a father-son-led TTRPG company in the process? Use code TTN123 at checkout and get 10% off your purchase at www.homieandthedude.com or through the link in the show notes. See you in the clouds. This has been a tale from the Tabletop Talespinners Network.